So,
Hey, John, how are you doing?
I'm fine. How are you doing?
Oh, I'm great.
Good, good. I actually want to start off with the story about how I met you because I think it's actually a good scene setter because we know each other from back in the
From of old.
Of old. But it was in Toronto,
Uh-huh.
and it was the first time that I'd ever gone to a science fiction convention. I'd never been one before, and I had just sold Old Man's War, and I figured, well, I need to go and meet my people. So I arrived, and I went around, and I saw people, and I looked around, and I saw Patrick Nielsen Hayden.
Who's our editor.
Who is our editor. So he asked me, how is it going? How's everything? Are you having a good time? And I said to him, well, it's great so far, but I don't know anybody. I don't know what I'm going to do. And he's like, oh, okay. And then he literally does this. He reaches out into the stream of people that are going by. And it's not that he's even looking. He just reaches out, and he seems to grab some random person, and he reels them in, and it's you.
And it's Arthur C. Clarke.
Yeah, exactly. And he says, this is Cory, John, Cory. Cory, John is your con buddy. And then he walks off, and you kind of look at me, and you're like, yeah, okay, come on. And then so for the rest of the convention, I basically was, we
did a lot of palling around.
When Last Colony, which is the third book in the Old Man's War series, came out, it sort of completed a narrative arc with the characters of John Perry and Jane Sagan. They meet, they go on, and they have their lives. And then at the end of Last Colony, I say, these characters go on, but they are going to go on without us. Now, the problem was when the book came out, people started sending me email, and mail, and saying, we really love the book, but we have these questions. So, to some extent, I wanted to go back and have a second bite at that apple to clear up some of these issues. But you can't just go back and, say, oh, by the way, you need to actually have a story that is a critical and compelling part. And so Zoe's Tale ends up being a parallel time story to The Last Colony.
The character's name is Marcus Yallow, and his hacker name is Winston, although W15N, W15NT0N, I think. I can't remember how I spelled it. Numeric letter substitutions. So, and of course, this is a nod to Winston Smith and the protagonist of George Orwell's magnificent book, 1984. I think a lot of kids today think of technology as a snitch, as a snoop, as a control system, as something that stops them from getting where they want to go, and something to be defeated, not something to be employed. And he really sees technology as something to let him change the world. And in some ways, it's what I hope kids would take away from the book, the idea that technology can be used to empower you instead of controlling you. I really don't want to live in a future where kids think of the technology that changed me as something that will only control them.
This is the chapter in which somebody farts somebody else to death, literally farts them to death. And I'm trying to explain this to my father-in-law. I had written Old Man's War, and he's like, well, what are you going to do next? And he doesn't really read science fiction or any of that sort of stuff. So I'm going, well, let me tell you. And then I go to him, and there's like, there's this guy, and he's got this apparatus in his rectum, and he's going to use it, and he's going to fart someone to death. And I'm just explaining this to him, and he's just looking at me like, who is this alien that has married my daughter? And behind him, Mike, my father-in-law, can't see this, but my wife is sitting going, oh, God. Oh, God, what are we going to do now? And then I wrote the chapter, and I gave it to my wife to read. And she is not going to say it's going to work if it doesn't work. And she actually came into the room, and she says, I don't know how you did this, but you actually pulled this off. And I'm just sitting there going, yes.
Hey, I've got a magic trick for you.
Okay.
Pick a finger.
That finger.
All right, watch this finger closely. You watching?
Yes.
Where'd it go?
It's there.
No.
Okay. Where is it?
Guess again.
There.
No.
Okay.
Guess again.
There.
No.
Okay. There.
No.
Okay. There.
Over here.
Anytime anything relating to bacon happens on the internet, I get a flood of like 15 or 20 emails like, I don't know if you've seen this. So I have now preemptively started posting stuff about bacon to keep people from sending it. Like there were the maple bacon lollipops that I posted on.
Did you see the guy who made the bacon burger? He ground up bacon
Yes.
and made it into a patty and then made a burger out of it and put bacon on it with bacon cheese and bacon bun.
I'm passionately interested in that, and I think I may follow through. I once made a bacon pie.